Hello, and welcome to my presentation for my final project for the Project and Portfolio 2 class. My name is Mark Bacon. Let's get on to the proposal. This was probably where I spent the most time trying to brainstorm and come up with an idea that would meet the requirements. I chose to make a version of the old game Hangman. This will have a word bank and a randomly choose a word and then verify each letter entered by the user until finished. And we've got the goals here of the game. There wasn't one of these goals that was particularly harder than the others. It was just difficult to include all of them into the program, but we were able to do so. Next, let's move on to the flowchart. The flowchart here is a rough idea of the progression of the game. As you can see, the game starts out with by asking the user if they want to play the game, and then it displays the setup. It'll generate a random word. The user would enter a letter and then compare that letter to what's in the word, decide if it's in there or not, and then ask the user for another letter. Once it gets all the letters or you run out of turns, it would complete it or in the game, and the game would be then, of course, finished. The execution of all of this. The first part was to prompt the user if they wanted to play the game. This is the way the game, this way the game wasn't like set up into like an infinite loop and we could turn it off, of course, if you went into it. Then next we had it set up to where it actually prompted the user to set a difficulty. The difficulty ranges from 0 to 6, 0 being the hardest and 6 being the easiest. But this was just to allow how many misses you can have as you play the game. The next part here is to prompt the user to enter a letter, which was just a simple prompt and then taking the letter in, but we actually set it to where you could only enter a single letter and not an extensive string or multiple letters or characters or anything like that. And that was how we validated that input as it came through. Then we had to check if the letter was a match. And then we basically looped through the word and actually where we had the setup with blanks, we changed that blank to now form a letter once it made a match, or report to the user that that letter wasn't part of the word, and update the game state. And then finally, after a series of that, then it would complete the word and tell the user if they win or lose. So that was the execution. Now on to the completion part of it. This is a link to the CodePen, but I actually already have the game pulled up, so we will go over here and run through it once. Do you want to start the game? Yes. Choose a difficulty. Let's do difficulty 3. And you can see down here it tells you how many chances you have, and also each space represents a corresponding letter from the randomly chosen words in the word bank. So let's just start with S. If it's a miss, I'm going to probably fail at my own game here. T. Okay, that was a correspondingly corrected to the answer there. So we got that one. Let's do E. E. Okay. Maybe a Y. Nope, that's a miss. R. That's always popular. Oh no, that's not a letter either. So we're down here to our last chance. M. You lose. And as you notice, as we were missing them, it was actually starting to build the character that would have represented the hangman. So of course, if it had the 6 full attempts, it would normally go through the whole and build out the whole hangman. So then it reports that you lose, and then we'll ask you if you wanted to start the game over. that is the conclusion of our presentation. Thank you for joining.